Vani, we say this because the twin bomb explosion that went on in Madagali and the other one that happened in Maiduguri.
Sure.
Recall that the one that happened around the mosque, the worshippers, we were told, actually saw the IED and they crowded around it, looking at it, wondering what exactly it was until it went off. It would seem as if still the people have not, I think there's a dearth of information going out to the people so that they know what to look out for.
Yes. You see, we watch TV, some of us are exposed, enlightened, we read, we even, run checks on how to make IEDs. But a lot more people are ignorant of this. So we need to engage them. And until we do this, Boko Haram will continue to scare us. What are they there for? To create fear, make you and I believe that government can no longer protect us, because it is the primary responsibility of government to protect you and I. So once government can no longer protect us, we hate that government, be it Jonathan's government or Buhari's government.
Well,
it doesn't matter now. So we need to work hard to ensure that these people do not succeed in creating fear. You set out to a worship center and there is this scare, everybody runs away and they are good with that. Hit one shopping mall and business is crippled. Everybody is scared. You won't go there, and they have succeeded. That is what they are out to do. That's what terrorism is all about. So we need to work hard to ensure that they don't succeed. And the way to do this is that government has to engage private practitioners, civil society, to engage the people, educate them on vigilance, surveillance, and every other thing that we need to know to protect ourselves.
You know, there are so many things going on, and you've spoken previously, severally, about the same matter. You've talked about investigating this to the extent that we see Hilux vehicles go, we see arms, ammunition coming to the country that they own. Who are the sponsors of this? What about those vehicles? Where do they come from? So from all of those, it does appear as though, look, there's a lot more information known to government that they're not letting the people know.
Of course. Government has information. There is the DSS, there's the DMI, there is the NIA, and every other security arm of government, including the police. The intelligence unit of the police is still there.
Are they acting on the information they have?
They are collecting information and passing same to government.
You are convinced that the people have, sorry to interrupt your thoughts, you are convinced that they actually have information.
They are no fools.
But you talked about, how we don't have any information on the Chibok girls and what that could point to.
It is not adequate. You may have information, but it may not be adequate. And that's what we're saying all the time, step up intelligence. It has to be adequate. You see, we are just coming to know about criminal insurgency. It was never there. Several years ago, we were battling with armed robbery. Later, kidnapping. And we have been equipped in terms of knowledge and manpower to deal with those ones. And suddenly this has come. And that's why I worry about people who claim expertise and people who feel that security should be left to men in uniforms alone. No. The biggest army is equipped and ready to battle based on its previous experience. You could learn a little from peer review and what to expect in the next 4 or 5 years. But the criminal thinks ahead, which explains why at every point in time you need to get some of these criminals converted to work with you so that you can tap from their intelligence to meet the challenges ahead of you. So I disagree with people who claim expertise. We are working and we are looking at the challenges as we have now.
You just mentioned... Okay, go ahead.
They are gathering information. Like I said, they are no fools. It is wrong to assume that we don't have an intelligence unit. But we need to overhaul them. Over the years, some of these organizations and agencies have been politicized. We saw what happened in DSS when, unfortunately, the spokesperson was more like speaking like the spokesperson of a political party at a point. And it brought a lot of a lot of hate.
But now things have changed.
But now things have to change.
What results do we have to show for it?
The results we have to show is that the army as it is today has been depoliticized.
You think so?
The first years, the first thing the commander-in-chief did and did right, which I had spoken about 9 months before, was that you move the command center to the war zone.
Has that changed anything?
It has changed a lot. The morale of the men and officers on the battlefield have been boosted. The commander himself has first-hand information. Nobody feeds them with white rice and palm oil anymore. Funds meant for them, to a very reasonable extent, is being disbursed accordingly.
But if you allow some of them to speak freely, the way they will ask permission to speak freely,
Sure.
I think the story will be quite different.
It's not 100%. The military have not purged itself completely.
And you know
But
what?
a lot of things
have
changed.
Sorry,
over
one of
a short period of
one
time.
of the changes that Nigerians would have loved to see is at least one of the Chibok girls rescued. Don't forget, from President Jonathan's administration till this moment, the few that we found came by themselves.
Yes.
It's either they walked out of the forest or we just found them in cities. Not one has been rescued by any troop or any of our men.
Yes, of course. Some months back, I have said that we lack the capacity for rescue operations. A lot of people don't believe me, but it is true. And I want to be proven wrong by this. But you cannot embark on rescue when you don't have adequate intelligence information. So, we have to continue to work. Now, the military have made tremendous success.
Let me bring in this part.
But
if you say they've been tremendous success,
yes,
because
they
just as Shola talked about,
Yes.
look, all of those, we see several bombings. We see the dimension that they've taken. It seems to be taking us unawares in many of these instances. And then, who are those girls who are involved in this bombing? Who are they? No information about who they are, their identity, where they come from, and you say we're making tremendous progress.
Something unfortunate, something very unfortunate has existed in the North for centuries. And when I see billionaires spring up after having been governor or senator representing peasants and poor people, you become a billionaire and you work yourself into the Senate to make laws. I pity the way we are heading. Go into these places, you see a woman having 9 children, 14. No birth registration, no birth record. She lives in penury with these children. They stray. For God's sake, I can bet that I know where my children are before I walked into the studio. There are a lot of families who don't know where their children are.
So if you really are ready to fight this terrorism, shouldn't we start with getting the data of every Nigerian?
Where is the data center?
Where to start?
Birth is supposed to be registered at every local government.
As well as death.
As well as death.
So
but the local government chairmen, as presently constituted, don't stay in their local governments. They stay in hotels in Abuja, collect money, share them, and then run away. Government is being run in hotels and not in government houses. So nobody knows how many children we have. Nobody knows how many are migrating across the border. In fact, there is no border.
So maybe they should start from there. If they
Boko
tell us
Haram recruits, for God's sake, a woman that has 14 children could take 100,000 and forget one daughter to go blow up herself. We live here in comfort. Many of us don't travel out of this the seats, called comfort in Lagos. Many don't travel out of Abuja. By the time they go to remote areas, they wind up, they insulate themselves from reality.
So clearly we've got some work to do.
A lot of girls are there, ready, naive, and will be used beyond the Chibok girls we are looking for. The Borno State governor should seek audience with Mr. President.
And ultimately talk to Nigerians about all
and
this.
Tell us what they know about the Chibok girls.
Chigozie Bani, security consultant, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be back in a moment. We'll still have one more perspective on the presidential media chat. Don't go away yet.